Hi guys, it's Crystal City, your homestead. So, it's Thankful Thursday. I keep forgetting to do an intro, and I should do one, but I keep forgetting. So, if you hear noise, they're cutting a tree down next door. I wish they were doing the one that covers our house. But anyways, tell me what you think about me doing an intro before my videos. So, I was watching a couple programs this week, and it kind of brought me to the conclusion of what I wanted to talk about today, and that is fear. I listen to some of the channels, and I understand being fearful. There's so much going around and so many things happening, and we've talked about it before. But, I mean, they're like truthfully fear-mongering, and, you know, I understand preparedness and getting prepared and being prepared, but to scare people is kind of silly. I look at it like this. If I tell you, you should stock up 5 cans a week and you should be canning or preserving your food or getting stocked up, it's because I do feel like something bad's going to happen. But to push that through and then make people feel like if they haven't already started that it's too late and whatever, it's never too late. So any of those programs that you watch that tell you that, don't listen to that. It's never too late to start. So, the verse I picked this week is Isaiah 41:10. And it says, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand." And there's a lot more verses out there with anything on fear. Whether you're a believer or not, you weren't put on this planet to be fearful and to be scared all the time. That's just not how life was meant to be. I think that it happens to everybody. We get a little scared here and there. That's normal, but we just can't let that be our life. You know what I mean? We just can't. So, I mean, if we were fearful of everything we need to fear, I'm over 100 pounds overweight. I could die any second, right? But I don't sit there and think about that, I sit and think about what life I have left in me to live. So, all right, let's take it to prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for everyone that pops in here and all my regular community, and hopefully ones that'll come and join us. I want to thank you for each and every one of them because they're all amazing. I would love if you could help them in any way that they need help. I'm kind of blustering in my words today, God, and I'm sorry for that. There is a lot of fear out there right now and a lot of worry and concerns because jobs are failing. We just had a hit on the economy this week. We need to, see if we can get your help with those things and lift us up and let us know that you're there and that no matter what's thrown at us, we will get through it. We will survive it with the help of God. I want to thank you for everything that you do for us, big and small. Even the smallest of things sometimes means the most to us. I want to thank you for being there for us always. Even if we think that you're not, we know that you're right in the back of our shoulders, just holding us and telling us everything is okay. I want to thank you for all of my friends here on YouTube, all of my family, all my community. They are totally amazing people. Today's prayer is hard, God, because it's hard to tell people not to be afraid when it's such uncertain times. But I ask that you, be there and hold them and show them that there is a way and there is light. And in the end, you always win. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. That was a horrible prayer today. I'm sorry, guys. All right, so today what we're going to make. So I've been looking up some, they may not be totally healthy snacks, but they're lower calorie. And so who doesn't like ice cream, right? So just because we're trying to cut back and stuff doesn't mean we can't have enjoyable things. This actually is 110 calories, and that's with the cone. So, the first thing I need to do, though, is cut up my strawberries. And it said to do it in thirds, so I'm not quite sure what that means. But we're going to do it like this. That's how I'm going to do it. And I have some blueberries, and you guys look at how big that blueberry is. That's huge. Whatever blueberries and strawberries I don't use in this, then I'll have tonight with our dinner. I think you wouldn't want them too awfully big. I was looking up Amish store, and we're going back up north tomorrow, and it's not a discount store, but they have a bulk Amish store over in Carson City, and I never knew that. And we went through there a million times, but it's past where I get off on the one road, so I think I'm gonna maybe we'll stop on the way home before we take the kids to dinner, to lunch, whatever you want it to be. All right, so I'm just going to make 2 because it's just me and Tom. And I like these because I can actually tape them back up so they stay fresh. All right, so what it says to do is you take, this is that yogurt that I got too. You take about a tablespoon of that yogurt and put it down inside the cone. Not sure how I'm going to keep this up in my freezer, but we'll figure it out. All right, now you're supposed to put some of those strawberries. I'm going to push them down in there. I should have made one for lunch. Sounds like a good lunch to me. And then put a few blueberries in there. And again, I'm going to push it down because, you know, if you went to the ice cream shop, they would fill it up, right? And then we're going to put us another layer of our yogurt. This yogurt, you guys, 5 pounds for 99 cents. So after I get done doing Tom's parfaits, I still have that much left, so I have enough for parfaits and probably these too. So it's a pretty good deal. Now, if you wanted to add something to it, like, I think chopped up peanuts would be really good with it. I think that'd be delicious. Uh-oh, it's going off the side. What a shame. Get in there. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? 110 calories. Now let me figure out how I'm going to get this in my freezer, and then I'll be right back. I really hope you guys can't hear that saw going. But anyways, so fear. You know, I don't know if I've ever told you guys, but I suffer from panic and anxiety. And actually, quite a few years ago, it got so bad that I became agoraphobic, and it was really hard to even leave the house because the panic and anxiety was so horrible. It just so debilitating. And you know, they don't talk a lot about it, and I never understood that because both of my kids suffer from it too, and they don't talk about it much. You know, they talk about all these other, you know, mental issues, whatever, but they don't talk much about that. And, you know, if you suffer from it, you know, let us know below, and we can pray for you, because I do know how bad it gets. I got a program that actually, it was a video program that you would listen to, and it would teach you how to breathe and do all those things, you know, so that you wouldn't hyperventilate and think you were dying, because that's what the anxiety does to you. It gives you the flight or fright, however they say that. And it actually makes your heart rate go way up. And I remember for a minute until I got diagnosed with it, you know, I went to the hospital a couple times after my boss died, and thinking that I felt like I was going to die. And it was just anxiety. And so it can be really debilitating. So, but that aside, you know, in these days and times, it's really hard to not listen to, you know, we had that crash in the, this week earlier, and, you know, we've had, you know, this and that happening, and they're sending troops here, and they're doing that, and whatever. And it scares me, because my kids are not in the first round that they would be chosen to be sent. But all three of my boys are in the second round that could go in. Because I think that goes up to 35 or something like that. I'm not sure. But, so all my boys could be called. And that's kind of fearful. I don't want my boys at war. And, you know, just, there's so many uncertain times of everything. So now guess what we're having with dinner tonight? Blueberries and strawberries. All right. But with the times the way that they are, it's very, very hard not to be fearful. You know, and it's not just times. I mean, we think about, you know, when COVID happened. And at first, I was kind of scared, you know what I mean? And like the first time that you step outside your house, you're like, but then it was so funny because one day I just calmed right down, and I don't know if God spoke to me or what, but I had this overwhelming sense of, okay, 4 things can happen. You get it or you don't. You live or you don't. And when you put it into that perspective, like the fear kind of goes away. You know what I mean? And I did get it, a really nice case of it. And I remember going to Ready Care, and we pulled back into the driveway because Tom had been sick, but he never tested positive. But I hadn't went anywhere, so he had to have given it to me. And we pulled in the driveway, and I felt like crap, you guys. And I rubbed the dashboard of my car, and I go, it's going to be a minute, baby, but I'll be back. Because I love my car. I bought her in 2019, and I still love her. I'm going to drive her till she falls off the wheels, because I just love my car. But, so Christmas got canceled. And, you know, it was so sad, because I think it was maybe Emmy's first Christmas. And it sucked. And it was 2 weeks to the day before I walked outside this house. And it was to get into the car to go see my kids and my grandkids and give them their presents. And it was scary. And there was a couple of times, you know, they told me they wanted me to go to the hospital. And I didn't. I said, you just tell me what to do and I'll do it. There was a couple times I almost called an ambulance because I was here all by myself. And it was scary. It was so scary. But you know what? I survived it. I started to think about it a few years ago, you know, when we think about fearful things. And, you know, when you think about it, if you can't change it, if you can't fix it, my son always says, don't let it take rent in your mind. Live rent-free, that's what he says. And, you know, it's kind of that way. So, you know, when I talk about fear, it can be over anything. It can be over losing a relationship, a family member's sick, someone's possibly dying. You know, you're waiting on test results. And it's not saying to never get scared, never be fearful. Because that's going to happen. We're human beings and that happens. But when it starts to take over our lives and that's all that we think about is, oh my gosh, are we going to go to war? You know, is the economy going to collapse? Or, you know, what's going to happen? We can't do anything. I mean, we can go vote in elections, which I encourage everybody to do. Vote. Even if you don't vote the way I want you to, vote. Especially you women, we had to fight for that right. Make sure you vote. So we can change things that way. We have to get involved. But if we go to war, do we have a choice? No. The economy, do we have a choice? Definitely not. And it scares me because, like, we were looking at Tom's first paycheck without any overtime. And I'm not going to lie, fear set in because without that overtime, it's $900 every 2 weeks less. That's a big hit. And then I've lost customers too. And I'm like, how are we going to make it? You know? And I think about it and it's scary, you know? And I think, you know what I mean? And it's like, but then I think about it and it's like, you've been in bad situations before. Did God let you starve? I've been close to being hungry, but I've never starved. I've not had groceries in my cupboards, but I didn't starve. I have been homeless, but that was years and years and years ago. Have I been close to it? Yes, when I was a single mom. And that's scary because you don't want to be, like, my boys were teenagers at the time, and here in this city, you cannot go to a shelter with teenage boys. They will not allow it. So women that have sons are forced to be in the street. Because I guess only boys do bad things, I guess. I don't know. But when I seen how much it was going to be, and that fear struck me. And the only way to get rid of that fear is to place our faith in God. And if you don't believe in God, then you put faith in something else, you know what I mean? Like your family, friends, whatever, that they'll get you through it. And, you know, I just have to put my faith in God that everything will be okay. Everything will be fine. And, you know, during COVID, something else. Like I had a customer that she was so afraid. She had a golf shop, golf course. And she was like, I'm afraid to let anybody into the building and blah, 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 and whatever. And she was a true believer. And she was just so fearful. And I'm going to tell you a song to go listen to. It's called Fear is a Liar. And I played it on my radio for her. And, you know, she said it helped a little bit, but she was just very fearful. She was elderly and, you know, she was afraid if she got it, she would die. So, but listen to that song. You know, I think sometimes, you know, people can say, they can tease me when I say the devil gets behind it or evil gets behind it. And sometimes I think that when fear and stuff like that is put in behind us, a lot of that is him. And, you know, if you're not in the right place, you'll go to the wrong place to get help. So he's a tricky little thing. But a lot of us, when things get tough, it pushes us closer. Like I've always believed in God, always. I don't remember a time in my life that I didn't. I can remember going to church when I was little, even when my family didn't want to go. My dad would take me and drop me off and pick me back up. But, you know, to learn to put that, and I still have trouble with that, you know, to put all of your worries and cares into one person's hands, that is so scary. That's like, he's got millions and millions and millions of people to look after, you know, are you sure you're gonna... But at some point, we have to believe that, you know, everything happens for a reason, and every door that closes opens up for something else. You know, like I keep hoping that my channel will take off, and maybe someday it will. And, you know, I'll not have to worry about my income as much, and I'll be enjoying doing something I want. But until then, you just plug along. And that's all you can do, is not give up on life, not give up on whatever's thrown at us. But like I was saying during COVID, even though I'd believed in God my whole life and, you know, always pray, and I may not go to church, but I do watch things on the internet and whatever, but it pushed me closer to God. Because at that time, you were stuck in a house with, you know, whoever you lived with, and they had to be Tom. Can you imagine? Oh, I'm kidding. It wasn't so bad. But, you know, you pray that things are going to be okay. And my sister got COVID right after me. And I didn't give it to her. Mark gave it to her, I think. And I nearly lost my sister. She was in the hospital for 3 months. And she just finally got her trach revision surgery and whatever. And I'm telling you guys, I have prayed hard before for my mom and dad and my grandparents and whoever. But I never prayed so hard for anybody than I did my sister, because, like, what do you do without your sister? And we get in fights, you know, and we don't talk to each other for a while, and she'll get mad at me and hang up on the phone or whatever, but it doesn't mean I want to be without her. Even if she's mad at me, if she called me, I'd be right there. And I hope she would do the same. But to get back to fear. You know, when you watch some of these shows, and I really like them, but it seems as though every single day that's all they talk about, you know, and how can someone not be afraid? So when you're watching those, you know that in the back of your mind, no matter how bad it gets, there's countries and people, we haven't had a lot of the wars here, but there's a lot of people that survive it. You know, we had the Great Depression, and a lot of people survived it. You know, we had that 100-year flu 100 years ago, whatever. A lot of people survived it. So, who says you're not going to be the one that does? You know, I think that if things about the economy and whatever are scaring you, then please start stocking up. You know what I mean? Even if you live in an apartment and you have to put stuff underneath your bed. You know, even if you have just 3 days worth of food, anything. Stock up water, you know. Think about alternative sources that you can use to cook and to eat and to heat. Do some research. Learn how to preserve your food. Learn skills. Like, I don't know how to build a fire, and I really should be learning, and I don't know how to do it. This year hasn't done much good, because I'm telling you guys, it's been like monsoon here in Michigan, and a lot of us can tell you that. It's just been so wet all summer long. It's been crazy. I know some of you guys could really use that rain, and some of us would really be like, we got a day and it didn't rain. Get out there and mow the grass. Because we've gotten that much rain this year. So I guess my ask of you today is, if you're fearful of something, take it to God. If you don't believe in God, take it to the person that you depend on the most. And if you know someone that's living in fear, talk to them. Let them vent to you why they're fearful and what's wrong. Because no matter what happens, we're in this together. We're into everything that we do together. If the world goes to crap for me, it's going to do it for you. You know what I mean? It's like, we're a family, and we need to be there for each other. I didn't mean to be a Debbie Downer, and I hope that I wasn't, and I hope I didn't babble too much. The best thing about it is, regardless of any fearful tactics, whatever people are doing, you know what I think, honestly, and this makes me smile and it makes me happy, is that when times get tough, we get tough. And we come together. We do. And we become one. Do you remember 9/11, how everybody was just so, you know, they're waving their flags and they're doing this and they're doing that, and, you know, people aren't proud of the flag anymore. I'm not sure how it is in other countries, but, you know, here if you fly an American flag, everybody knows who you're going to vote for. you can go up and down a lot of streets and never see a flag, and that's a shame. But, you know that, look how close we all got. And actually, when 9/11 happened, even other countries came to our aid, and, it became a better place in some ways. I don't agree with the war and stuff, but, it became a better place. Somewhere along the line, we lost that. And I certainly hope it doesn't take a tragedy to bring it back. But you, my community, my friends, my family, we got this no matter what. Hopefully I didn't get too down. I don't know. I didn't cry. I guess that's a bonus. But never give up. And even if you have to talk to one of us, you know what? Do it. You can talk to me, citygirlhomestead2022 at gmail.com. If you're bumming and you need somebody to talk to, I'll talk. I don't take that email with me when I go on the road or anything, but when I get home, I'll talk to you. So don't be fearful. Have faith that everything's going to be fine. Keep listening to good videos like mine. Had to put a plug in there. My throat's getting dry now. Too much talking, I'm good at babbling. But you know what? Keep your chin up. It may seem like it's getting dark out there, but you know what? Even the smallest person can bring such light and such goodness into the world. Like, I look at my grandkids, and AJ he's full of it. And Emmy has the shiniest eyes and the cutest laugh. And you look at that and you know there's got to be a future. There's got to be something good. And you got to be willing to fight for it. I don't mean like that fighting either. But we have people that we love and we care. And we don't want to bring them down too. And we want them to grow and to be, nice adults. So let's work on, making some positive things today. And next time that fear creeps in there, tell it, not today, buddy. Not today. I do love you guys, each and every one of you, and I appreciate you so much sitting here and listening to me babble on as usual, and my mind going wherever. But I do love you guys, and it means the world to me. And I love when we sit here and chat. You guys have a blessed day. Be a blessing. And I'll see you at supper. I love you guys.